Excerpt from the Massetti Prime Gazette, translated to human units based on your location. Dear readers, as our worlds here in the greater galactic core begin to trade more with humanity, I believe it is important for you to understand a little about how they govern themselves. And somewhat surprisingly, this is one area where we and humans have a significant amount in common. Thus proving that although in our galaxy, we are a great and beautiful collection of random sentients, hive minds, interplanetary gas bladders, intelligent shades of blue, and humans. One thing is truly universal to us all: bureaucracy. After humanity's first halting steps onto other worlds and their experiments with colonization, they realized the need for a greater, if not quite all-powerful central government to help keep the situation off-planet from devolving into a rather devastating war. Thus, early in their expansionist era, each planetary body was determined to be largely self-governing while still answering to the United Nations, which liberally greased the definition of nation in order to allow these colonies to be represented fairly at the highest level. This was fine and actually quite effective in not only preventing the self-extinction of the human race, but also in pushing forward the movement for a united Earth, which had been divided into more than 100 self-governing nations. Nowadays, Earth, or Terra, as it is called in the United Nations Assembly, is entirely under one set of laws and is treated legally almost exactly the same as any planetary body controlled by humans under their government. The United Nations, which is the supreme high governing body for the majority of humanity, is roughly analogous to our own greater galactic core Congress. Namely, both admit that each planet or system has to have a certain degree of autonomy and localized governing in order to stay flexible to the needs of the people. The human United Nations, however, does a few things differently than our own Congress. These most obvious difference is that it maintains its own standing military and polices most of humanity's territory, which is different from the core system of leaving the formation of localized militias up to the individual territories. The UN also is heavily involved in providing disaster support, policing human rights abuses, maintaining educational standards, and providing a basis for the criminal justice system to be expanded on at the local level. So far so simple, right, dear readers? Naturally, humans make things just a bit more complicated. About 90% of humanity currently lives under the jurisdiction of the UN. A further 3% are living in the GGC or some other non-human governed space. That last 7%. This is where things get tricky. The rimward edge of humanity's territory is constantly expanding. And why not? There's nothing and nobody else out there. According to the UN, this territory belongs to them. After all, they are the governing body for humanity. According to the people that often go out and settle this territory, things are less clear. These people are more often than not of the persuasion to pointedly say that they are not governed by anybody. This is the space of secret pleasure moons, work camps, private prisons, slavers, pirates, and autocratical water worlds. If ever there was a wild, lawless area of space where anything goes, it's the rimward edge of humanity. Eventually these territories will get large enough to either require the UN to step in and take charge, or they will self-organize and join willingly, such is the way of human expansion. But to the rest of the galaxy, these humans are completely off limits to any form of aggression. The UN has placed a rather convincing carte blanche protection over these expansionist pirates and rebels. Not that they really need to, after all, these humans live on the far side of nowhere. As far as most of the GGC is concerned, that territory is terra incognito and has been for the last 1,000 years. It took humans coming along to show us how profitable it could be to work out there. But any government or organization looking to venture out that way had better come ready to rumble. Not only with the lawless settlers, but also with the UN, which will fight to keep its claims on the expanding territories. Personally, I'd like to wish the sky's own luck to the poor fool that tries to attack a well-armed and self-determined human, UN or no. So what have we learned, dear readers? Humans really are mostly just like us when it comes to governing. Except when they decide that they really need to get away from the government. And even then, said government extends its protection to them, like it or not. In summation, a good rule of thumb for if your inevitable business trip into human space is keep to UN-operated spaceports only. That should be enough to keep all but the most determined troublemakers away from you. Remember to have your GGC passport and UN visa on hand before you board that shuttle off-world. Haltel Valken, Xenoculture correspondent, Massetti Prime Gazette. Author's name and the link to original text is in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video.